Yo, this is WSoul13 and welcome to the best kept secret in Raid Shadow Legends. Alright? And I am gonna show you exactly how you should play this Void 2X. Right? So let's turn on the news, shall we? News and Lunatheral Fusion is over, right? So anybody that played, I think most people are right to have skipped that one. But we do want to look at the Champ Chase tournament. So they're doing a special Champ Chase tournament, right? And you get a chance to get Skull Crown, 41 to 50, Genbo 1 to 40, you know, and I guess it's also Void 2X, right? And then they're giving us a 10X for Madame Serris. Wow. Is that it? Just Madame Serris. Okay. Great. So, you know, if you've been watching this channel, that I am not a big fan of 10X, of 2X as much anymore. And the reason why is because guaranteed champ events have gotten so much better, especially this year, that 2X is starting to lose a lot of its luster, in my opinion. You couple that with that fusion events are asking for a lot more shards, right? And then every once in a while they'll give us an amazing fusion like Helicath. So if you are watching this video, I'm pretty sure you have Helicath in your account. If you didn't have Helicath in your account, well, you know, I'm sorry to hear that. So the main reason why you would even pull Void 2X, alright, is because of the epics. That's it. Because of the percentage chance, right? So if Void 2X isn't on, you have a 0.5% chance. It's like Ancients, basically. And if you've opened enough Ancient Shards, and I'm pretty sure if you've been playing the game a certain amount of time, you will have opened a lot of Ancient Shards, right? One of the biggest problem with Ancient Shards is that their chances to get a Legendary is so low, right? So you could open for Ancient 2X, and you still have a good chance of triggering the Mercy system. So the Mercy system comes in after 200 Ancients open without a Legendary. So even if you open 200 Ancient Shards at Ancient 2X, there is a chance, right? A pretty good chance, actually, you will not open a single Legendary. And you will hit Mercy, you know? So that's not much different from 2X not on. So what actually does 2X do for you for Ancients and Voids? It doubles your chances of getting epics. So it's very reasonable to say that a person opening 100 Ancients will not get a Legendary. But at the same time, if they open that 100 Ancients or 100 Voids under 2X, they will get double the epics. That is a very reasonable statement to say, right? So because of the percentage chance difference being so huge, you're going from 0.5% to 1% versus 8% to 16%. I mean, you know, we don't need to do a lot of deep math on that one. That's pretty basic common sense stuff, right? So that will be your main motivation for pulling for 2X. But if you have Helicath, right? If you already have Helicath, a lot of the purpose of pulling for 2X for Voids goes away. Because the main reason you want epics for Voids, there is a number one want in Voids, and that is an unkillable clan boss comp. So you're hoping to pull Demitha, you're hoping to pull Maneater. Anything other than those two, you know, it's kind of like, it goes from an extreme pressing need to it's really nice to have, but not account or game breaking for most people. Madame Serris, unfortunately, falls into this category, even though she is an S tier champ. I mean, like, for all for all accounts and purposes, you could objectively say Madame Serris is an S tier champ. Well, what is the reason why, even if she was guaranteed at 25 void shards, which is actually a really good deal for her, by the way. I would pull 25 void shards for Madame Serris. But a lot of people won't have 25 void shards available for Madame Serris. So what is the reason why for an F2P a low spender account, right? So let's first define what an F2P or a low spender is versus an actual kind of like quote unquote whale account. There isn't much difference between F2P and low spender. The main difference would be gear, right? And then the low spender versus the whale, the main difference would be overall champs and overall gear, right? And that difference is like a large difference. So you're talking like an F2P account would have maybe half the gear of a low spender account. Just because the low spender account will be able to buy up a lot more energy refills, so that account can farm dungeons a lot more and have literally twice the better gear an F2P account would have. Something like that. And then a whale account would have maybe 10x or 100x better gear than a low spender account. That's just the way scaling works in Raid in terms of spending money. But in terms of PvE content, like breaking PvE content, right? There isn't much difference between an F2P and low spender, and then an F2P and low spender versus a whale in terms of the time it will take to learn how to break the content and to actually get to the point where you are breaking the content, right? It's not that much different either. So even if you're a whale, it wouldn't surprise me that it would take you a year to beat Faction Wars or to get Arbiter. I'm not saying you get Arbiter in a year, but within the year, you will be able to get Arbiter, beat Faction Wars, have a Hydra boss team, have an Ultra Nightmare Clan boss team. Those are all achievable as well as an F2P low spender. And maybe if you're like an ultra spender, right? Maybe you can get it done in 5 months or 3 months, but learning about all these concepts will take the same amount of time as an F2P low spender. You have to learn how to play the game. You cannot skip that part, right? So I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of a secret for F2P low spenders, because for majority of the life of Raid, Madame Serris was looked upon as an extremely sought-after champ. Like, oh my god, you gotta have a Serris, bro. You gotta have a Serris, bro. Okay, so what is the reason why Madame Serris is so good? The reason why is because of this 8-3. Removes all buffs from enemies, and then you put 50% decreased attack and 50% decreased defense for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown, right? So this is doable. This is playable in PvE. Right? But if we're going to be perfectly honest here, the place that she is meant to play in is Arena. If you're playing her outside of Arena, you're not using her to her full potential. And the reason why is because this buff strip sets up so many speed teams and speed comps that go speed booster, buff strip from Madame Serris, and then I do a nuke or I do a control, right? So this gets rid of immunity set, this gets rid of shield set, right? It doesn't, however, get rid of Stone Skin, which is kind of like creeping up in the Arena meta, even in the lower Gold 4, Gold 5 tiers. So what is the point here? The point here is that Madame Serris, while her niche role, and it is niche, right, is so good still, like today, it's still really, really good to have a buff removal and a decreased defense champ in one skill. That is still an amazing thing to have. It is not, number one, it is not as good as it was before for people that do play Arena. Number two, Arena is the worst place to invest in if you're a free-to-play or low spender. Let me repeat that. Arena is the worst place to invest in if you are a free-to-play or a low spender. You have to be a certain point in your account before you even start thinking about Arena, right? So most likely after you've hit stage 20 dungeons, right? That is the time that you're going to think about, okay, I do need to get my Arena team a little bit better, get your farming a little bit more consistent, you know, because you will need these Arena bonuses to break the stat checks of Hard Doom Tower and Hydra Boss and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, right? So these are all things you would want to have in your account, and having an efficient farming team in Arena is very, very good. But we're living in a days where Arena is just easy, you know? So there are going to be days where Arena is going to be hard. That's kind of like the life cycle of Raid. But look at this. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 easy fights in Gold 5, right? Off of 1 refresh, you know? So the meta in Arena for free-to-play low spenders is actually just this. That's the meta. You hit refresh, you look for an easy fight. Farming is about how quickly your eyes are trained to go, okay, Deke, alright, easy fight. I'm gonna fight this fight. You know? That's it. That's what Arena's devolved to. It's about how quickly your eyes can scan the list and find the easy fight, right? And then your Arena team, the better it is, the more amount of fights you can actually fight, right? But you still need to determine that quickly with your eyes, you know? And that's the skill with Arena these days in terms of farming. That's what limits your time in Arena. Because Arena is all about just farming medals, right? It doesn't really do anything else. I mean, you get a little bit of bonuses and all that, but really it's all about farming those medals. Will Madame Serris help you farm for those medals? Yes and no, right? So the yes part is obviously if you have a team that want to run through a certain kind of composition or whatever, yeah, sure, you can set it on auto and then you go whatever, speed boost, Madame Serris buff strips, control, nuke. Perfect. Alright, that's great. But you could also kind of just avoid those fights in the first place, right? Which is kind of the skill in Arena for FTP low spenders. And I honestly, even whales do the same thing. It's not like whales go in there and just go, click, 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 I fight every fight, you know. They avoid fights too. The reason why is because it takes so freaking long sometimes. Yeah, man, if we're talking about Madame Serris, right, and you really, 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 really want her, I would suggest doing a limited gamble for her, which is you pull voids until you get a certain number of epics, whether that's 1, 2, or 3, or however many you're comfortable with, and hopefully you get a Madame Serris, right? That would be the way I would do it if I was going to pull for Madame Serris. I won't because I already have a couple, but you know, you might really, really want one. Honestly, it is worth it to have one in your account. It's just not as pressing as it was when Madame Serris was still kind of like an extremely difficult champ to replace, right? Right now she still is. There's just so many more AoE decreased defense champs with upside now. You know, Stag Knight, Deacon Armstrong, right? Even for Arena, like Deacon Armstrong, or even AoE decreased attack with upside, you know. And of course we have Stag Knight and Duke now, who kind of do the same thing and are kind of a little bit better suited for dungeons, right? So Madame Serris has lost some of her like cross PvE type broad coverage that she had before, you know. Plus they nerfed her a little bit for PvE, right? They decreased the duration of the debuffs on her. So I think if you really, really, really want her, now would be a good time to try to gamble and try to get some epics. It's Void 2x, you're never going to go wrong pulling during 2x anyway. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. See y'all next time.